forgot I was recording. Sorry. So, for those of you who have seen the first 8 episodes of the Ted Jones vlog, one, thanks! I appreciate you for tuning in. And if you haven't gotten a chance yet, rate, comment, subscribe. Who is Ted Jones? Well, number one, I'm Ted Jones. I was born in New Brunswick, New Jersey, in the New Brunswick Hospital. I lived in Princeton, New Jersey, which is close by to New Brunswick, for about 6 weeks before I moved to Manhattan. My mom's job was in advertising in New York City. You know the lipstick building where Bernie Madoff used to work? Yeah, that building. So that's where my mom used to work, but not in the same office as Bernie Madoff, thankfully. After moving to this city, my dad had actually just graduated from business school, University of Pennsylvania Business School. So he was smart, and sometimes I just wish I got more of his smart genes. I had to take off my hat. It was getting hot. So by the time I turned 5 years old, I had gone to a few years of nursery school. Obviously, I did pretty well in nursery school, given to the fact that I got into kindergarten. From the ages of 5, which is when I was in kindergarten, through 8th grade, it was hard. It was a difficult school. So by the time 8th grade came around, I was asked to leave because I wasn't doing well enough academically, or at least not up to their standards. So at the time, I was very into tennis, and I decided that I wanted to be homeschooled for a year to try and play tennis professionally. That really didn't work out so well. After a year being homeschooled, I felt like it was time for me to go back to school. I went to professional children's school for 10th grade through 12th grade. That was a lot of fun. Going to that school, I met a lot of interesting people. It was for actors, singers, dancers, models, and athletes, whatever may have you. After that, I went to the University of Connecticut where I played on the tennis team for 2 years. After playing on the tennis team for 2 years, to be honest, I got a little bored. But the real change occurred when I failed my first drug test. The first drug test I failed came because I was smoking weed in my dorm room. So I was smoking weed in my dorm room, the RA called the cops, and then eventually it got back to the housing person, and then the housing person found out I was on the tennis team and told the tennis coach. So that was the first time I failed the drug test. The second time, I likely knew the drug test was coming, but I didn't really have enough time to stop smoking weed. I got caught the second time after summer break. So by the time junior year came around, or the middle of junior year, I had 2 positive drug tests that I had failed. Once I got picked to have a 3rd drug test, I just didn't show up because, well, I knew I was gonna fail. So all this free time in college allowed me to go back to the city, spend a lot more time in New York, figuring out kind of what I wanted to do, take acting classes. I also wrote an 181-page movie script, which I cut down to about 113 pages now, about Ryan Leaf. If you don't know who Ryan Leaf is, he's the number 2 draft pick behind Peyton Manning in the 1998 NFL draft. He seemed to have a promising career on the horizon, and then a lot of things went wrong in his life. So I messaged him on Instagram. He hasn't quite gotten me back yet, he hasn't quite gotten back to me yet, but I'd like to make the movie. You know, I'd play Ryan Leaf, I'd be the football player. You know, I was a pretty good athlete, actually, so we'll go back to that. I was at the point of choosing between baseball and tennis when I was 12 years old, and I had just won the MVP of my Little League at age 12. I was a pitcher and a shortstop, and I chose tennis. Maybe I should have stuck with baseball, because I could have maybe been better. I wasn't going to be a professional athlete anyway. So I was at UConn, and then for like the second half of my junior year, I wasn't playing sports. I was writing that movie script, and that took me probably about a year to write. And then the senior year of college was like a little bit slow for me. I had a girlfriend in London who didn't really seem to want to have a boyfriend at that time. A lot went on in that relationship when I was a senior in college, just because it was a long distance one, and I don't recommend long distance relationships. Maybe for like a little bit or whatever, but like overall, I think you need to have your significant other in the same city, or at least the same town. If that makes more sense for suburban people, I don't know, whatever. But the past 5.5 years I have been working at my dad's real estate company. Now, while you are watching this video, I'm likely now retired. I put in my 3 weeks rather than 2 weeks notice a few weeks ago, so now I'm just going to be entertaining you guys. So if you have any suggestions on what you'd like to see me do next, write it in the comments. Send an email to tedjonesworld@gmail.com, but we're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff. Maybe you'll meet some of my friends, you meet my family, but I'd be very interested to hear what you guys want to see from me. So, again, if you have any suggestions, DM me, Ted Jones World, on IG. Send me an email, tedjonesworld@gmail.com. You can check out my TikTok page, Ted Jones World 1, or Ted Jones World Podcast. And yeah, but we got a lot of stuff going on. If any girls want to leave their numbers in the comments, that's chill. Any bros who want to become tight, leave your phone numbers as well. And if you guys have any suggestions on what you'd like to see me wear, I don't really have that large of a wardrobe. Wardrobe of clothes that I wear. I have like 5 or 6 shirts now. I'm trying to keep everything very simple, like Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg talk about not making so many decisions per day on what you're gonna wear, just so you have time to make the important decisions. Okay, I'm also vegan. See, it's funny, I have to remind myself as I'm talking to you guys about some of the other things that I do, and then meanwhile, as soon as we started this video, I smoked a joint because I didn't know we were filming. But I do enjoy smoking weed. I'm a vegan now. I really have cut down on my fish since I saw this documentary called Seaspiracy. I'm not sure if you've seen it. It's on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, I recommend that you watch it. And it kind of changes your perception on how you can help the environment more, in terms of global warming. You'd think that cutting down on your plastic and not using straws is the best way to do it. But if you watch Seaspiracy, you'll know that not eating fish is a huge help to the environment, as well as not eating cows or pigs or any other meat, rather. But there are a lot of things that are changing. These freaking NFTs and all your favorite celebrities getting into them. Paris Hilton, Lindsay Lohan. Who knows? It seems like it's going to be the wave of the future. But for right now, I am looking to move with the pace of the world, as crazy as that sounds. That's why I'm spilling my guts to you guys here on the camera and on the wavelengths, too, on the podcast that I do with Peter Moran. I also, if you guys haven't followed my Instagram story, I had a jaw surgery where my face was broken in 3 places. I had an uneven jaw, and my face was literally on the hinge. Shout out to Dr. Todd Hanna, who redid my whole face, and it was an insane healing process. But I became vegan through the mix of it, just because it was so hard for me to chew meat. I just stick to soft foods, and that was a year and a half ago. Yeah, about a year and a half ago, maybe a little bit more than that. It was July of 2019. So as I'm making this, it's the end of April 2021. So we'll be approaching the 2-year mark in about 3 months, which is crazy. But a lot of nut stuff has happened in my life. It will be a different looking journey nowadays from the hours of 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And I look forward to it. My favorite beverage, you might ask? Coffee, for sure. What's my favorite food? French fries, I'd say. My favorite hungover meal, if I even do drink, I'd say a bagel with tofu, scallion, cream cheese does hit the spot. Whole wheat everything bagel, scooped out, toasted with scallion, cream cheese, please. So ever want to buy me breakfast, you can order me that, and I'll heart you forever. But I'm trying to think of other things that I would like to tell you guys. So I still enjoy playing tennis. Every so often, Monday through Friday, the past 8 weeks or so, I've woken up at 4:40 a.m. to hit the gym at 5 a.m. I can't tell if that's fully phased, because I definitely did start doing that before COVID, waking up at 4:40 and going to the gym. But I like it. I just like getting it done and out of the way in the morning. But who knows if I'll continue to do that when I don't have a 9 to 5. I would like to think that I will, just because it seems to be good for my, like, you know, my mental state when I'm just up and alert, and definitely up when there are no distractions. I typically have been going to bed Monday through Friday at like 9 or 9:30. I'm definitely in bed by 9 o'clock. And then on the weekends, I haven't done much. I haven't done so much. I don't know, I would like to do other things. Dates right now haven't really been happening for me, but I've been hanging out with a few friends and working on this stuff, talking to you guys, looking at the live action shots for real, making the podcast. So I suggest you guys listen. If you haven't listened to the podcast, Ted Jones World, you can find it on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, basically wherever there are podcasts you can hear it. The YouTube, obviously, as well, the Ted Jones World YouTube channel. But yeah, I just wanted to get on here and make sure that you guys know who I am. Hopefully you're a little bit more comfortable with me. And if you guys want to see anything in particular, you just let me know. Or have any questions, you just let me know, okay? I don't even play the guitar. But I can like strum and like pretend that I play the guitar. And then a little drums. Alright guys, well, thank you so much for tuning in. This was vlog 9, and I'll see you guys on Tuesday for vlog number 10. New episodes of the Ted Jones vlog Tuesday, Friday, 12 a.m. Thanks guys.